Hello and welcome to another episode of Bare Bones Wargaming, a show with no bells, no whistles, no frills, just a man, a camera, and his game. Well, hey y'all, I'm back. Been a while. I know August, I think, was the last time I talked to you guys. Did that video on the Wargaming Strategic Civil War. I'll probably be sharing a little bit more about that next episode because here in about a couple of weeks I'll be doing my best and worst of the year. Interesting year. More about that later. But also I'll show you a new updated map, which I think is pretty cool. And I still got to put through the paces to see how functional it is. The new spaces, the size, etc. But the reason I'm here today is because I have something to share with you guys that's a bit of an archaeological dig, if you will, so to speak. Now, recently, let me backtrack. Beginning of this year, I finally tracked down a copy of a game called Solomon's Sea, which is extremely difficult to find. It's a game from 2000-2001, very rare, basically like a desktop publishing thing. You have to cut the counters out. They're not actually, the punch counter kind of things. They are mounted and everything, but very interesting game, but unfortunately you can't play it solo, which I tried with the rules. I tried with counters to see if I could do it before I messed up the counter sheet, and it did not succeed. So recently a BGG member said they were really looking for the game, really interested. Was anybody willing to part with one? So I sat down and I thought about it a little bit, and I thought, you know what, I'm not going to play this, so let me see if I can get what I want from it. Well, monetary-wise, that didn't work, but then we talked about a trade. So we did execute a trade. We executed a trade where I sent my game, which is still working its way through the postal system, to the Sunshine State for a set of 4 games. 4 games that are still in shrink wrap. And that's part of the archaeological part of this. Because the 4 that are in shrink wrap, and of course, now the big question is, how long have they been in shrink wrap, are these ones. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So as you can see, it's the original squad leader and all the gamettes. Okay, still shrink wrapped, and I do think this is original factory shrink wrap. And let me show you why I think so. Let me zoom in here. If you see here on Cross of Iron, see the little hole like that? That to me screams manufacture, because usually if somebody's going to shrink wrap it themselves, they're not going to do that. And then if you look at the edge up here on GI Anvil of Victory, and also if you look at the edge on Crescendo of Doom, you can see the same kind of thing. So I do think these are shrink wrapped from way back in the day. Now, the question becomes, whoops, wrong direction. The question becomes, how long? Have these been shrink wrapped since 1980? Probably not, if I was guessing, if I was betting, just because the shrink wrap looks pretty intact and all, but perhaps it's been since Avalon Hill went under, which was, what, 1998, if I recall correctly? Yeah, it was my first year teaching, and I was like, I remember that because I was kind of like, all right, cool, I finally have disposable income. And then I get an announcement, Avalon Hill is done. I'm like, son of a bitch. So, whoops. Anyway, that's how I felt at the time. So I'm conveying my feeling there. Anyway, so when I saw these, I made this trade, these 4, for that Solomon's Sea game. I really was kind of like, well, this is cool. And now, as you guys know, I'm not a collector. I know some of you, now this next part might be, heresy for you, some of you blasphemy, but I am going to open a few of these, not all of them yet. Actually, I might leave GI Anvil of Victory wrapped, because I don't think I need that one. Here's some more heresy for those of you die-hard squad leader fans. My point of buying these was, recently, I was really enjoying some airborne games that I have, like Crete 1941, the Malta What If one, both of those decision games, and then also the cross, what's it called? Target Arnhem across 6 bridges. But tactically, there's just not a lot of them. And I know there's some new tactical systems out there, but I always like Squad Leader because it was kind of like Goldilocks. It wasn't too easy and it wasn't too complicated. It was just right. And of course I remember, if my memory serves, because I had all 4 of these back in the mid-90s when I first started really getting heavy into wargaming. I'm pretty sure the airborne rules, the airdrop rules, are in Cross of Iron, if I remember correctly. So anyway, I wanted to get these, and I've actually ordered some extra boards and stuff from Noble Knight, which is working its way through the mail as well, because I wanted to design some of my own airborne drop tactical scenarios. So that's why I traded for them, and that's why I'm going to open them. So I'm going to let you guys see with me how old these are. I am kind of curious myself, and like I said, I think I'll open up the squad leader and the Cross of Iron here with you very quickly. The other thing that was really cool, and I did not expect this at all, was, let me go ahead and shift these guys off to the side for the moment. The other thing that was really cool was the box that the trader sent it to me in. Now, if you look here, you can see the box has the old Avalon Hill logo on it, as you can see. And it says content, 6 games. That makes me think that this was probably like for retail. But the thing that's kind of really cool is the other side. Because here on this side you can see very faintly it says Crescendo of Doom. And it makes me wonder if that's what was all in here, was 6 copies of Crescendo of Doom for a retailer. So this is a box obviously I will save, because, you know, it's this little, I mean, slice of history. I mean, I like it. I think it's cool, so I'm definitely going to hang on to it. But the guy I traded with, I let him know the games got here safely, and I thanked him for the box. I said that was kind of a nice touch and all. So anyway, so that's the box along with everything else. Alrighty, are you all ready? Y'all ready for this? Dun, 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 dun. Sorry. All right, here we go. Let's see. I'm gonna use that little loophole to slide in. At least I think that's what I'm going to do. I hope that's what I'm going to do. And try to open it that way. Maybe not. Maybe this won't work the way I wanted it to. Oh, there it goes. Dun dun dun. I'm sure some of you heard that crickling sound. Yes. Off comes the shrink wrap. Dun dun dun. First time I got Squad Leader, actually, I was 12 years old. An aunt and uncle bought it for me, but I had nobody to play with, and it was way over my head at that age, to be honest, because I had no experience with war games at that point in my life whatsoever. So yeah, I never I had it, and I kept that copy for years, but I never really got a chance to really play it all that much, because I didn't have anybody to kind of guide me. I mean, it was like nothing my young mind had ever seen before. The most complicated thing I'd played to at that time was Axis and Allies. So, all right, let's zoom in here a little bit. I think there we go, and let's take a look inside this pristine copy together and see what we got. All right. Oh, there we are. 2 white dice, of course. Oh, look how nice and crisp that is. It is definitely the 4th edition. There was one horrifying thought I had when I got these. I was like, this is cool. And then it hit me. Uh-oh. If anything's missing, if anything is like miscut, I have nowhere to get a replacement. So keep your fingers crossed with me that won't happen. Here we go. So here's the rule book. Nice and pristine. Nice and crisp. Look how crisp that is. Wow. It's never seen the light of day till now. I'm hoping to be able to date these by the catalog that's in there. Whatever Avalon Hill catalog there is. There we go. There's the scenarios. The guards counterattack. I think of this original game, I think I played Hill 621 more than anything else. Here's the boards. I don't want to damage the box, so we're going to flip over. Oh, it's as I suspected. It's a newer version of the game. I can see the parts list there. But still, nice pristine boards. Very cool. And there's the counters. All unpunched, all just sitting there. Wire, second level, all that good stuff. I remember all these things. Entrenchments. There's the vehicles. And of course, here is the Wehrmacht. And of course, leaders, all the berserkers, yeah. Been a long time since I played squad leader. Up, and here is the Russians. Mother Russia we are fighting for. And then, of course, there is the USA. Alright, very cool. Alright, so I would say that these are all probably from the same time period, is my guess. Because here is the Do a Friend a Favor card, which is funny. And then this is, as you can see here, this is the Universal Parts List, effective November the 1st, 1995. So, kind of fun, though, to look at this, because then you can see, like, what some of the games cost. I mean, GI Anvil of Victory back then was $37. Yay. And then, of course, they used to have the rarer ones in here, too. But there's all the new board games that were coming out at the time. That's pretty cool. London's Burning, Kampfgruft Piper 2, Surf TV, and Air Baron. Alright. I mean, just look how nice and crisp, and it's just, you know, there's a little dent and stuff, but holy Toledo, Ohio. This is cool. This is really, really neat. Awesome. So there is that copy. And like I said, I'm not going to do them all, but I will do Cross of Iron. Simply because I need that one, because I'm going to verify that. But I'm pretty sure, I'm like 99% sure that that is where the airborne rules are. So, I'll be curious to see how these punch out, the counters and stuff, by the way. I mean, look at the cards. Look at that. They're just, it's all nice and crisp, and holy smokes. The other thing that was really nice about this was the program nature of it. So, that was always cool. Alright, let's do the Cross of Iron. Just to see if I'm right, they're all from the same lot. I'm going to guess they are. Somebody bought them all together at the same time as my guess. So, Scalpel. Forceps. Patient's not responding, doctor. Oh, here we go. I got an incision now. Prepare for extraction. I'm sorry. Hey, look. You know, getting these, I kind of said to people, this is like a birthday present for myself. I turn 51 tomorrow. And kind of happy birthday to me to find all 4 of these, you know, intact in shrink. Which is really cool. But you don't find much anymore. But I know that's why some of you think it's sacrilege. I get it. But I posted this on that Board Game Geek thread about what war game you got this month. And somebody was like, you know, catalogs. Wait, you're going to have to open the shrink wrap to do that. And I'm like, yep. And as I said, I buy games to put them on the table, not put them on display. That's just the way I kind of do it. I've never been, you know, collector. No. Books? Yes. Some books. I have a first edition of Mayhan's book, the Sea Power one. I have a couple first editions like that, but, you know, yeah. Okay. Let's see. Cross Irons from the same time period. You know what? Even though these counters obviously are, what, 28 years old? I bet you they punch out easier than some decision game counters. Oh! Slap me across the face. Alright. Cross of Iron, 4th edition. Excellent. Again. Am I right? Is this where the parachute? Yeah, here it is. Here it is. Look, I was right, guys. Right there. Section 99. Parachute drops. There it is. Okay, and then of course you got, oh yeah, this brought in some of the minor Eastern Front guys. Brought in the tank commanders. I forgot about that. And then here's the scenarios. No dice though. Interesting. Huh. But here's the scenarios. Here's the vehicles. Those are some seriously... Wait a minute. Weren't the original Russian vehicles brown? Right? These are yellow, aren't they? Weren't they brown? I think they were. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. You guys should be able to tell me. The horses. Nice. Nice touch. Look at the bottom there. Those guys are almost falling all by themselves. The turrets. I forgot about the turret direction. Like I said, I haven't touched squad leader since probably the late 90s. Alright. Yep. Same thing, effective November 1st, 1995. Alright. And board number 5 along with all this stuff. So, very cool, very cool, very cool. And I will open Crescendo of Doom because that, if I remember correctly, that's where the French are, the British are. So if I'm going to do some paratroop stuff, like, you know, a tactical scenario, maybe of Evan and All. I think it's how you pronounce that. I could be butchering that. But, yeah, if I'm going to do that, I'm going to need that. GI Anvil of Victory, I'm not so sure. I'll take a look online. But, yeah, here we go. British, French, Polish, and Belgians. Yep, 2 more boards. Oh, it also has the river crossing rules and boats, as I recall. So that's cool. Yeah. Alright. Alright, yep. Yep. But it's just, it's neat. It's just really cool. So I thought I would share it with you guys. Just because it's just, you know, it is kind of cool. So, alright. So like I said, I'll be back in about a month because usually I cut off my year, quote unquote, at December 16th. You know, happy Bald's Day. Happy first invasion of Silesia. The first Silesian War triggered off that same day too. And I just found out a friend of mine, her birthday too. So I'm going to cut things off on December 16th. So there you go. There's 2 vintage 28-year-old copies of Cross of Iron and Squad Leader that I've opened up to share with you. Just in the fun of it to see what was inside and such. So, alright. As always, I appreciate you watching, even though, of course, I know I'm not back very often. But you might want to tune in. I'll try to post it right around the 16th. You might want to tune into my best and worst of the year because, again, this year was a little different. It was a little wonky compared to some past years. But again, more about that when I get that far. And also, a look at the new map to and the War Game as well, which I like. I just got to whip it out and... you know, get the blocks on it and see if everything, all the changes that Mr. Pink made to it, the designer, if it's all working smoothly and stuff like that. So, all right, as always, this is Tim Korshner from Bare Bones Wargaming, saying thanks for watching, as always, and I will see you next time with my best and worst of the year. Oh, one other thing I guess I should mention real quick. Some folks have asked me about this, and I don't usually do requests anymore, so to speak. But there was a game that came across my one of the ads from Noble Knight, and I had thought about buying this game when it first came out. And then I guess this is a reprint. And people have asked for a playthrough because there's no playthroughs in English. So I might, maybe in the not too distant future, I might go ahead and get this on the table, which I have to admit, this has been a lot of fun. I really have enjoyed this game. It's basically covering from about 1880 up until the outbreak of the First World War. One of the event cards is the assassination of Franz Ferdinand. So I might get that onto the table. It has a dedicated solo system, but you can also play it four-handed as well too. So I'll see. I've had a couple of requests from more than a few people asking me about if I would do a playthrough video for it. So, alright, as always, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time.